I want to talk about concept of rollout projects and for the project management automation and progress visibility of these rollout projects. A quick definition of a rollout project, the way I see it. These are IT projects that have high volume of repetitive tasks and where the tasks can be easily defined, such as refreshes, Windows 10 rollout, and where the tasks are usually coupled to a CI workstation or a user in the CMDB, and where task completion can be confirmed in real time by FSC, like via a smartphone or API automation. Additional properties. Within a project, the tasks are relatively simple. And within a project, task interdependence is low. It's a common type of large-scale project done internally and has the potential to save a lot of money if performed successfully. Concept requirements is to have real-time realistic measurements of project progress, to have high visibility of progress to support required project interventions, and to be delivered with little or no overhead. So in terms of automation and visibility, the concept is that we need a tool to assist project managers with high volume rollout projects. It cannot replace the project manager. It's not that automated. The high volume of repetitive tasks permits us to create a highly systematic approach to project planning and execution, and to delegate planning responsibilities to SDMs in terms of task execution, rates, etc., to provide mobile processes to FSCs for task instruction and completion, all in real time, to make project progress highly visible to the project manager and to senior management, to provide realistic measures of project progress, and to provide automation with respect to validating work completed. Work completed, the concept can carry many evils, hide many evils, so it'd be nice to, if somebody says Windows 10 is installed or it's refreshed, we actually check by reading something off the machine that this is in fact the case. What will ABS do? We'll leverage the BizRAM CMDB and our current integrations, extend and adapt current processes, use our database and programming ability for automating as much as possible of this, and obviously provide the manpower, management, and strategy to make it happen. Just to recap the deliverables in our CCBA work order in terms of projects. It's 40 project tasks or job cards per month, which is only 480 per year, but we've already committed to CCBA that we'll run the 2019 refresh projects no matter the size of that refresh project at no cost, additional cost. Now, if this concept is supported, we'll make a further commitment to run all of your rollout projects with that definition I've used, and for those projects that are suitable to the concept. And in addition, implement on top of that this concept of project management, automation and visibility, also for no additional costs for 2019. All we need is management support. It's a big change to the way things are being done, and the risk is we roll out all of this, and the company runs as normal. It doesn't actually change and use what we've put out there. So we'll need clear role definitions. Current CCBA rollout projects from Warwick and I've got this is the 2019 refresh for Africa and South Africa. Obviously, we're playing a big role in that already. The legacy thin clients, we've already got that in our system. We got that project up and running when we heard about it, and they're already managing it within BizFrame, but none of these advanced techniques. And then the Windows 10 upgrade, and then there's an Office 365 client rollout. I don't think I've got my terminology exactly right here, but something like that. Then in terms of the measurement, the basic progress mechanism is simple. The project quantities is in tasks, the project duration is in number of weeks or months, then the project measures is in tasks per week or tasks per month. The target quantity can be typically uploaded by PMs or SDMs. That'll be this gray one. And the STMs take personal responsibility. That's the whole idea, is to try, by having it online, by having it visible, each team loads its task and is responsible for it. Then when they go about doing their work, they're going to do it in real time through mobile phones. We're going to get the blue columns, and we will verify that it has in fact been done through APIs, and most important, we'll have the cumulative under or over, which is going to be the red bar, showing us whether the project is getting ahead or going behind. And it will work if it's real time and highly visible. It's not rocket science, but it's a lot more than you currently have. And if we read the progresses correctly, we'll be able to see whether our projects are in trouble or not, or virtually real time. Okay, methods for progress visibility. Define the tasks well. Remember, they're simple, so we should be able to quite easily say what must be done and how long do we think it'll take. We should be able to show progress per team, by country, by regions, by STM, target quantity versus completed quantities. We can build crucial milestones in, real-time task updates via smartphones. We can present FSCs with task information via the task list, so we can tell them whether they're doing a 32-bit upgrade for Windows 10, for instance, or they're doing a 64 to 64-bit, and then perform real-time verification and feedback. The engineer, when he's doing his real-time update, can be given a visit where we can say, look, how long did it take you? Did you have technical issues? Do you need help? This is very nice for getting feedback from the whatever is happening in the site. Doesn't matter how distributed it is, back centrally to the management team and the project team. Nice example of managing the project with different targets, linear targets, which is the blue one, versus non-linear, which is the orange one. In this example, if we say the project's for 17 weeks, the total quantity was 2,800. At week 10, 1,200 were actually done. So both of these are targets. So if you had been running on the blue columns, you would have had a target quantity of 1,650. If you were running on the orange columns, you would have got a target on week 10 of 1,170. Now, typically, the SCMs are going to load their targets like this. Leave it for at the end. So, if you are looking at week 10, and that's what you've actually done, you will be 450 behind on the linear ones. Projects slip of 16%, and 3 weeks behind with all different kinds of target rates that needs to be completed. So you can see it's not really effective if you just have linear predictions of how your project must run, because these unequal targets are built into these projects. You need to run them, be able to run them, because for the non-linear targets, you can see you're not now behind, you're actually ahead, and so forth. But obviously, when you're running these non-linear, the moment you have project slip, you have to react very, very quickly, because if they load them aggressively to the end and they start missing them, you lose your project pretty quickly. Setting the targets and tasks is quite important. So with the Windows 10, we help them identify all of the target CIs by doing an analysis of all the operating systems and what versions were being run, and we presented the data to them like this. We then defined the tasks, whether it's going to be a 32-bit reinstall or a 64-bit upgrade, and requirements and interdependencies were discussed. And then you have to, the project team has to say, what do you have to do for each one? What is actually required? And it must be very clear to the engineers. And then we should have defined or try and work out how long it will take, which we'll use in planning. And what is the definition of complete and how do we verify completeness? The requirements for project automation: simply define the project, what needs to be done. This is a typical one that we did for Windows 10. This project definition is good enough to run the whole project on, but we used it basically just to come up with the identified CIs for CCBA. Then after you got the definition, you have to go and find your target data. This is quite difficult, it's quite technical. What we did here is based off the intersect between the hardware models and the operating systems, which we got from SCCM. We then created an intersect table, and using each OS version, we looked up on the internet whether it was compatible or not. We used a lot of people to do that, and then we would put in here in terms of a code, it's either compatible, fully, not quite fully, and then if it's not fully compatible, the exceptions were put in, and also we gave them the URL link. So that all exists within the system, which is part of systemizing this changes, making them available to the team. So you can see the model compatibility now captured within the system, and it will be very easy to pass this kind of information real time to the engineer. So when he gets his task, he says, I'm going to go and update this machine, we'll say to him, okay, well, it's this version of Dell. Here's the URL telling you what the compliancy is, and it only supports build 1703. I mean, it's impossible to get that information out efficiently without some sort of automation. Yeah, and then the data presentation model is normally the next step. You can see, so there's quite a lot of work that precedes this. And then we encapsulate this project into its components in terms of the teams, the tasks, the engineer portal, report deck, and the dashboard implementations. This is a typical one of completed jobs for legacy thin clients. The engineers can then see at mid-rand they had 20 legacies to swap. They've done 15, 5 outstanding. This is the type of what we'll use for all our projects. And then the wizard will be different for each project. This is for the legacy thin clients, really, really short, but you can make it richer, like saying, okay, did you have issues? How long did it take? As I've mentioned before. And it all integrates back into the back system, and that's where we get our audit trails and the real detail. Implementation in BizFrame we make it quick and simple to get it up and running, because we're already in the middle of all of these projects, and yeah, we don't have weeks to do it. We have to get up and running immediately. So we have a quick workshop for the ones that are already there, but we need buy-in. We can't have the workshop. Everybody sits there and says yes, yes, and then we have immediate, we don't follow through on it. The target for quantities, we need the SCMs to load, and then the FSCs will immediately start updating these projects based on their smartphones, and we will find ways to verify it. If that will run behind it a little bit, but we can run the verification maybe 2 to 3 weeks time and catch up with that. And then we do the automation of the process measurements, the real-time dashboards, and that's the dashboards that management will use to react on. And that's about it.